Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel where we level up and never look back. It's English with Venya, and today I want to address a little question that I got on TikTok. If I was a better, social media influencer or whatever, I would have, screenshotted it and showed it on the screen, but I didn't do it and I can't find it anymore, so yeah. But the question went something like, how can I keep practicing, or how can I start practicing my spoken English if I don't really have anyone to talk to? And that is a great question. I think it's a very common problem, and all of us have to deal with it. I personally went through it as well when I started, my English journey back in the day, and I wanted it all. I wanted a native speaker friend whom I can talk to, proper grammar, see, whom I can talk to every single day, and they would correct my mistakes and call me out and point it out every single time. Now, sounds beautiful, but in the real world, it doesn't really work like that. So tip number one, stop chasing native speakers. A native speaker won't really do anything for you aside from, giving you an opportunity to talk about something besides English. That's about it. And you can do that with anybody else. It's not that big of a deal. A native speaker generally will not correct your mistakes. Generally, they won't. If you ask them to do it, they're gonna feel a little weird about it. So generally people won't do it for you unless they are a trained English teacher and you hired them to do that. That's the only way this arrangement could work. Aside from that, people don't really want to tell you about your mistakes because number one, well, it's not really polite. Number two, they don't really care that much. As long as they can understand you, they'll be fine. They won't really point stuff out. So the solution here is understanding that you're better off finding someone who is just like you. Someone who is learning English too. Maybe you're on a similar level, maybe they are a little below, maybe they are a little above. Either one will work perfectly. You need someone who has the same level of understanding in terms of why you're doing it, because they're doing it too. And because they're going through the same struggles as you, they're gonna be all about that. If they notice you made a mistake, they will jump in and tell you if you establish a really clear boundary in terms of, hey, I'm trying to grow here, you're trying to grow, I don't mind. Please correct me if you think I said something wrong or, wrote something wrong and, something jumped out at you. And I can do the same for you. I think that would be a very productive partnership. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is native speakers don't know what it's like to learn English, obviously, for obvious reasons. They've never been through it. Even if they, speak some other language and they've learned it, it's still not English. English is very dumb. You know what I mean? It doesn't have a lot of logic, which is okay, right? We love English, that's why we're here, right? But we can admit it. We know when something is off, and a lot of things are off about English, which is, once again, perfectly fine. But a native speaker has no idea what that's like, and they will not be able to provide you with detailed feedback and really help you understand stuff because they don't really understand it themselves. And on the other side of things, you find someone just like you who's learning as well, and you have your own strengths and weaknesses and they have the same, and they could be different, and you can really help each other out, and it's a beautiful, beautiful partnership. So find someone like that. You just go ahead and shoot your shot in the comments down below. Hey, my name is whatever, I'm from whatever, I've been learning English for however many years or whatever, and I'm looking for a partner to practice with. Let me help you and connect and stuff like that. So definitely drop your info in the comments, and we'll see if we can get a nice little thread going. Number two, very underrated, talking to yourself. It's not as weird as you think it is. Obviously, don't do it when people are around. Now, that's weird. You don't want to be weird. You want to be productive, right? So do it when you're alone and you have your privacy and your space and no one's around to judge you. Talk to yourself. Speak through your life stories in English. Speak through, imaginary situations. Speak through different conversational situations that you imagine in your head. You know, have a conversation you just had with a friend, but with yourself and in English. You know what I mean? It is very, very powerful. It's kind of like practice. It's not practice. It's kind of like, I mean, it is practice. All of it is practice, but it's kind of like rehearsal before you go into a real life conversation. It's like being an actor in a play on stage. I think I've said this before. I'm having major deja vu right now. But yeah, it's like being an actor on stage. You know, before opening night, you have rehearsals. You have a lot of rehearsals. So you can memorize the script. You can, you know, memorize the action. The director can do their job. And you run through it again and again and again so that there's no mystery when it comes to opening night, right? So you are afraid, or you're nervous, or you're shy about speaking English in real life conversations because you don't know what's gonna come out. You don't know what's gonna happen. You know, it's very mysterious. You don't even know what it's gonna be like. You can't predict it. And obviously with the real life conversation, you can never predict it. That's obviously, you know, fine. But when you talk through enough stuff on your own, you will have a certain idea of certain reactions you can give, certain responses you can give, and certain things you can say in different types of contexts. So there's less mystery, which means more confidence, and that is, I mean, nothing can beat that. Since you're learning English as a second language or a third language, whatever, as a foreign language, right? You need all the confidence you can get, that's for sure. So talk to yourself when you're alone. The next one is actively participating in discussions online, even if it's written. So things like Twitter, things like Reddit, things like, you know, Discord, whatever, I mean, whatever you like. Live streams on Twitch, live streams on YouTube, TikTok comments, you know. Don't, if you see something you like and you have something to say about it, or maybe you see something you don't agree with and you have something to say about it respectfully, don't just move on. Stay there and express yourself. Make an effort to express your ideas and thoughts as much as you can. Even if it's very simple, you know, I love your work, you're amazing, good luck with everything, whatever, right? Or this video sucks. Don't do that, don't be a hater. But yeah, your job is to take every single opportunity that presents itself to express yourself in English. It is so important and it's so underrated. You have to participate in discussions and speak your mind every chance you get. It will make you a lot better over time, and it's such a little thing, such a small action to take, you know, every day. The next one could be a little embarrassing. Again, depends on, you know, where you are and who you're with or whom you're with. Every time you read something, it could be a book, it could be an article online, it could be a caption on Instagram, it could be a random post, whatever you're reading, read it out loud. You want to make sure you get used to hearing your own English, even if you don't make it up in your head, even if you're just reading it still. You want to make sure you get used to hearing your own English, because that is also very important. You need to have a very clear idea of what your voice sounds like, what your pronunciation sounds like, what you sound like, what your English sounds like. That also takes, you know, the mystery out of it, which is great for us. So yeah, the bottom line is take every single opportunity you can to practice your English, and be creative with all the weird little ways you can do it. You know, don't limit yourself to just the things that I, you know, talked about just now. Do whatever you think could be fun and beneficial. Also, never, ever, I cannot stress that enough, never apologize for your English. Never do that. Take all of the time that you need. Take all the space that you need. Don't get really small when you start speaking English. Get bigger. Do the opposite. You know, fake it until you make it. If you don't have the confidence just yet, at least pretend like you do. And then maybe you'll be able to lie to yourself and fool yourself and believe that it's true. And then if you really believe it's true, it might just become true. So yeah, thank you guys so much. This has been English with Venya, a channel where we level up and never look back. I just did, but yeah. I wish you nothing but the best on your journey to learn English and make your dreams come true. And if there's anything I can do to help you, let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to drop your information down below so that you can connect with people and practice and have a really good time and make new friends from all over the world. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.